I think we're live now. I'm running solo today without Charlie, so I'm trying to figure out how to use all these stupid buttons. Notice I didn't do the intro or nothing because I couldn't figure it out. And if Charlie's awake and paying attention after his surgery, he's probably laughing his butt off right now. So, hey, everybody, welcome to Contractors Corner weekly show. It's Tuesday, the 21st of November. Can you believe it's almost the end of the year? Um, So with Charlie in the hospital today, I don't know if you all got the message, but he had his appendix out today. So we arranged for a special co-host. Um, I don't know if anybody outside of the private Mighty Network knows her, but she goes by Lahafa, as you will see. Lahefa. I always mess things up. Hey, how you doing?
Hello.
So so why don't you introduce yourself to everybody real quick so we know who we're talking to. And that was weird.
Yes.
So why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself real quick? Tell us who you are, how long you've been an owner operator, and all that jazz.
All right. Well, hello, everyone. I'm Wanda. I go by La Heffa. Um, I've been an owner operator for about 2 years now. I'm currently with Panther ES. Um, Everything's been going great so far. I don't know what else. um, I'm running teams currently, and let me see what else to say. Um, I was with another company for about a year. I decided to get my CDL. My husband first started driving, and I liked what he was doing. So I was like, you know what? It's something that I it caught my interest. So I was like, you know what the heck, screw it. Let me go to school and check it out. Um, so my husband was driving for Panther, so I decided to go to school for CRST, and so that's where I started my career as an owner operator was with CRST, and I got my truck there as leased, and then I almost got to 5 trucks under CRST. It was going great and everything there. Then last year, I mean, actually last year, oh Lord, it just feels that long. This year in
Yep.
July, I actually had gotten into a small um, accident. So something happened there with CRST. They ended up deciding we parted ways. So they ended my contract. So I was like, well, you know what? Everything happens for a reason, right? So,
There you go. So that's one, and she's going to be with me for the show today. Let's go ahead and go through who was number one today. Number one today on the comments was James Vaughn. Good to see you, James. Mike Henderson's waving at us. Bear Hunter, is this the Wands? Yes, it is. It is the Wanda. Um, and let's see who else we got here. Got Blackbeard asking about reefer, and Matt Nissen is answering questions about reefer. And guys, that's one of the awesome things about what we're trying to do here is get your questions answered. There's people here that have done all sorts of things. One of the reasons we wanted you on the show, Wanda, is because you're not a Swift person. You've never been a Swift person, and you know what? You're successful. No, we try to tell people find your home. You know,
hmm
um, and as we've talked, you and I have only talked a little bit. I guess you and Charlie are becoming buddy buddy more so, but
yeah.
he's not here. Um, So you when you lost your contract at CRST, you didn't just say, "Ah, screw this, I'm going to go live under a bridge," did you? You went
No.
looking for your next opportunity, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I did.
And we learned some things about Swift when you were applying, and we won't go into the negative weeds there, but there was a reason you didn't go with Swift. You ended up back at your husband's home, basically, at Panther.
Yep. Yes.
So Panther is one of those people that we talked to when we were at the Expeditors Expo this year with Colton Lawrence, the trucker CFO, and um, they're they're kind of interesting company. They do some things that I don't would be a little to get used to for us. I think. You and I were discussing the fuel card thing that they do, and um, for those of you that don't know, this is a Panther thing, not an ES thing, is what I found out about it. So they actually take half your line haul and put it on a fuel card for you as soon as you
So
get dispatched. Is that right?
so it's two different things. So Panther, when you sign up with Panther under ES to do the whole contract for an owner operator, they give you an EFS card. And so how they do it is they give you 50% of the line haul as fuel. So now that card, they give you two cards, one as a backup. So it's still your money, but it's on that card.
Hmm.
Now, what the problem that I have come across is that Panther and ES, there's a lag in communication there. So once Panther sends me my load, it's like ES is the middleman between
Sure.
Panther and me. And so I'm having to constantly be texting um my person in ES to let them know, hey, I have a load. Send me my money for fuel. Because if I have no money in that fuel card, I can't, do my loads.
Hmm.
So um I'm having to be like, hey, I have this load, I have this load, I have this load. And now and another other issue is now if this person does not load up that money, now here you are to where they say, oh, it's automatically, it will load up automatically. No, it doesn't. This
Hmm.
system does not load up automatically. We have come across that issue as well, that I have sat around and waited for the automatic load to come, and it just doesn't come. And
Hmm.
so 50% of each load goes into this card, and if you don't use it, all of it at the end of the week, what I usually do is, okay, let me find out what's my balance I have there Thursday. So by Friday, I could let my person at ES, let him know, say, hey, how much I have in there, send whatever I have or a certain amount that I want to my bank. Or you could do it yourself as
Right.
well online. Now, because I manage fuel so well, I usually have about over $1,000 left in there or so that I could send it to my bank.
Right.
So I'm like stacking up as well. And I have had no issues with that
So that so that
either.
so that one thing, and I was talking to Colton about this because he's very familiar with that program, and it's something that the reason I bring it up is so you go from CRST to this other contract. To me, that seems like there's always a learning curve when you hop carriers. There's something that nobody else does that you wouldn't have thought that they did, right? and you've got to learn this process. And it's sometimes it is pretty frustrating, but it's just something that has to be learned. Um, Craig says when he was with Jones Carrier, Jones Motor, they were able to load the money directly. I don't know if that means from the card to his bank account or from the bank account to the card. But like when you and I were talking about this the other day, the way I manage the ES Advantage card is that I load it myself, right, every Monday. I do an ES, an EFH, an ACH transfer from my bank account to the card every Monday. So in your contract, though, it's just that's the way it's done for you. And so you have to get that money out at the end of the week into your business account so you can make payroll or however you're managing that, right?
You don't have to necessarily. You could keep it in there if you want to, but that's how I have done it because it's like it's best for me so that way I can make, you know, my pay my bills or whatever, you know. So I mean, it's just that's how I have found it best, how it works for me. Um, but for like Panther, when they do their payrolls, is they send their payroll stuff every Wednesday or Thursday to ES, and then ES does not send our settlements and all that till late evenings on Thursday to us, and by the time we receive our settlements and my payroll is not until early Friday morning. It already has hit the bank. So that's why I go ahead and notify ES on Thursday, hey, what's my balance on my fuel card? So that way my deposit, it all be in there together in my business account.
Okay. So Bear Hunter asked, why not just let the balance grow instead of transferring? Well, that's Sean, by the way. I don't know if you're familiar with him, but Bear Hunter, how much money do you want in there? You know, if you're ending up with a surplus of like $1,000 a week, pretty soon, you know, in 10 weeks, that's 10 grand. Are you going to use 10 grand of fuel in a month? Start. So you're also this is something that does, but not very many people. You guys are doing expedited. So um, what other carriers be doing? A lot of expedited team freight. They do a lot of DoD loads. They do a lot of medical stuff. So you guys are doing really well on the mileage each week, aren't you? Right now.
Yes.
So in the expedited world, what does that look like? How many miles are you guys running, and do you ever get to stop, or is it just a complete turn and burn all the time? How is that working for you guys?
Sometimes it is some turn and burns. Like I'll have 2 to 3 loads already for my week, and sometimes it's I just be like, okay, I'm sitting for maybe a day. But other than that, we've been constantly, rolling. The most we have sat will be for a day. If not, I mean, I do not sit there for longer than that. I'm calling my person and I'm texting him and saying ES either would not allow you to sit there for longer than that either. They're also making calls and saying, "Hey, what's going on? Why is this truck sitting there? We got to get these people moving."
So they're proactively like if they see that you're sitting, they proactively go after the carrier, say, "Hey, we got one of the trucks sitting. That's not acceptable," and they kind of help you out in that regard. Then.
Yes, they do. So, I mean, I'm already on it myself. So, if I don't do it, I call my person and I tell him, hey, I've been sitting here, can you call somebody else and find out what's going on? Because apparently they can't find anything, whoever I'm calling. And next thing you know, they're getting me moving. They like, hey, I got this load. So I don't know, whoever I contacted, they couldn't find something, but my person contacted someone that apparently they found something.
Okay. Well, that's kind of nice because at Swift we don't have that. It's kind of a in OTR, just regular over the road line haul dry van world over here at Swift. We pretty much, we make our phone calls, but we get the same answer no matter what these days. Well, there's just no freight, or the best we get is the answer. Sometimes I'll call a planner and they can tell me how many loads short they are in the market I'm sitting in. That's that's the most detailed answer I can get. Um, it's just things are really tough industry wide. Um, I you're probably involved in some of the other Facebook groups as well, but you see these people out there complaining no freight, no freight, and boy, you get in some of those groups where they're talking about brokers right now. Holy cow!
Mm-hmm.
I have to be sparing in my monitoring of those groups because it's so darn negative these days. The rates
Oh,
are down, this is down, the brokers are ripping me off. It's like, well, are they though? I
yeah.
mean, but by the time you get to the point to where you have your own numbers, aren't you responsible for a little bit of negotiation, maybe? You know,
And and that's the difference that I do like about CRST and Panther. With CRST, I couldn't negotiate. Whatever the price was, what
hmm
that's what it was. And on top of that, CRST kept 30%. And 30% of everything, even your accessories, like, you
really?
was sitting, yes. With Panther, no. Whatever their price is, I can negotiate. If they give me a bonus and I already know what I'm looking for, I can negotiate that. And they come back with a number, and I come back with another number, and we meet in the middle. And if I'm happy, they happy. Okay, we good.
hmm
And they pay for tolls. They will pay me, assist me with some tolls. They will also pay for some layover. The 100% of the accessories, they cover that, and that's what I like. That's the big difference. They're very different, and that's what I it was a big thing that I also was very happy with.
So, we went over you with our contract with you when you were out there looking for another carrier. What kind of fuel surcharge do you guys see over at Panther? Is there a fuel surcharge, or is it an all-in rate when they send you a load?
That was also the other difference. There is a few surcharge, so they go based on what the market is. So if it's at 55 cents today, that's what they're doing. If it's
Okay.
53, that's what they go by. And if I, along with my bonus, when I'm negotiating and I ask for a little bit of a bonus for the fuel to cover a little bit more because I'm going through mountains or whatever, I will ask for that and I'll throw that in there, and they negotiate, and they say okay, and we agree.
Okay. And you're able to do all this. You haven't been with them for very long, and you're already got your feet into all of that.
From day
So
one.
from day one, so very proactive. Okay, Nicholas Earl, who left Jeff in charge. I'm going to do a thing here. I'm going to show you something. That's Charley today. Charley is AWOL. His weak body decided to betray him, and he had to go into surgery today. So I'm running this show today. So there you have it. Um, so guys, if you got questions for Wanda, um, a lot of you ask what is it like out there. In the last year, she's worked at two other carriers, CRST and Panther. Her husband ran for Panther before. Um, we're actually interested in talking to Panther more because, again, we talked to the recruiters right at the expo. Um, We didn't get a chance to talk to Forward Air, which was another one we wanted to talk to. Uh, we do have some people that have applied over there recently that are friends of ours, and apparently this is an interesting one. In certain markets, Forward Air actually has a hiring freeze right now. Southeast is one of them, so that's interesting. A lot of
Yeah,
us
I've
wish it. A
seen
lot of us wish the Swift
ES.
had a freeze on hiring.
I've seen ES have some of their I guess contracts with them.
hmm Yeah, so if you guys, especially if you guys are interested in this team expedited freight, Wanda's a good one to talk to. Um, Bear Hunter, he's still trying to justify his comment 5 minutes ago. I was just saying, get a cushion on fuel curve, so not sitting waiting for the 50% to hit in order to roll. Yeah, I get it. Just
I
so you
I
know,
do I do have a cushion there. I'm not just sitting and waiting for the 50%. I have a cushion sitting there. I'm just saying um that there's just it's frustrating though to just when you want to keep rolling and then to be like, hey, where is this, that extra fuel money to keep you know rolling. That's all.
yeah, yeah. What we recommend, because it's on the Swift contract, we're responsible for that fuel card ourselves. I
Mhm.
I like I've full disclosure, I've never actually gotten it to this point because you know how life happens, weird stuff. Um, to me, in our operation, I like to see about $5,000 on the card, and the reason is because in my operation that represents 3 weeks worth of fuel. So
Mhm.
that means if the truck breaks down, if there's just no freight and I'm not making a profit, if I get sick, like I just got back from being sick for like 3 weeks, man. I mean, they put me on the Z pack and everything, type of sick.
Mhm.
Um, or life happens, I've still got money on that card for fuel for a couple of weeks so that I can roll through those hard times. So that's the number that Charlie and I came up with, is to keep 5 grand on the card. Now, I don't know anybody other than teams that actually do that, but it's one of those things. We all know what we're supposed to do, but do we
Mhm.
do it? We might try.
Yeah. Cuz that's my thing. My thing is that card is only it could only be used for fuel. So I'm like, okay, I mean, I could take out cash advance now, but they charge me. There's fees. So
Right.
why? I rather have the funds for, like you said, emergency or something. I rather have it in my bank account, in my business. So
hmm
therefore, I have fuel money in the for the truck if I need it already covered, sitting in the fuel card, and the rest is sitting in my account. So therefore, I'm covered in both. I don't need to worry about anything. But I like it to where it's the the business as far as the ES, it could already be done as it's supposed to be done. If it
hmm
could be done automatically as soon as they receive the load, or they are aware, hey, this truck already has a load when it comes in through the Samsara, but no, they don't get notified. It's a whole different system. So they have to wait. It's a lag in the system. So it's like, okay, so I got to do it for them. I have to let them know. Sometimes they don't see it. Sometimes he has to go in there and go on the computer and say, oh, okay, I see the load. I'll go ahead and manually do it for you, and all of that. So, if I could help out and I'm not doing anything else before I get behind the wheel, then I'll do it. So it doesn't bother me. But it is frustrating if it's something that it could be automatically done, then, you know,
Yeah,
why not?
sure. So you ended up going through ES Success in Trucking,
Hmm.
and so they got you your truck. What kind of truck did you end up with? What are you driving?
Uh, 22 Freightliner.
Okay, good choice. We like that one.
Hmm.
And so when you sign up with them, they get you your truck, they get you your contract. What else are they what else are they offering? Did they get you with Trucker CFO? Did they get you with the Seabright group insurance?
Yes.
What all the stuff when you go with them? First of all, guys, with at ES, just so you know, it's not that you cannot get on with them as a solo, but it's much more difficult. They really are. They prefer to work with owner operators that are in the custom critical team type freight is what they prefer. And there's some reasons for that we could go into if you guys are interested in that. But so you go sign up for them and they offer you all this stuff. Now when they offer you this stuff, is this mandatory or is there a menu of things to choose from? How did that go?
You could go on your own, but now it will be more expensive
Hmm.
versus going with them. They give you their discounts and everything else. ES does charge you a weekly price like 12.50, I think it is, for having the having their services and all of that package deal. So we
Hmm.
do have the insurance with them, and they did offer trucker CFO,
Hmm.
which I've been waiting to hear from them. And I called and spoke with, I think it was, or I can't remember. I want to say it was Lindsay or something like that, which she emailed me and sent me a whole bunch of information, because I already have ADP, and she said that they have that program as well, which I have a CPA, but she said that they could do things cheaper and everything, which hey, if I could get something done cheaper, then I like the sound of that. Um, so she said she was gonna get back to me, and I have not heard back from anyone. So I will on Monday reach out to someone because I know it's the holidays right now. In regards to that.
Right.
But other than that, that was pretty much it. When we got there, um, the insurance and all that couldn't have been set up at that time because it was already late when we arrived. It was almost 5 o'clock. They did cover the hotel for us. They covered the Uber to get us to the hotel and everything, and that was pretty much it.
So yeah, so because we haven't had the chance to really get into everything they do yet.
Where did he go? I don't know. Jeff. I don't know where he went, huh? Oh, anyways, you guys, let me see. Trying to go back and forth. I'm on my phone, so let me see. Bear with me. Okay. So you guys have any questions that I could answer? Go right ahead. Let me see. I'm trying to scroll through here because I have to keep going back and forth. Uh, Oh, yeah, I do have a cushion on the fuel card. I just see your. Oh, Yeah, I do have that cushion in there, but I like to transfer funds over to the business.
There we go.
No, we're a team, and so but there's a lot of loads that we do get that if it's like a solo one of us could do, then we'll do it. And I mean, and it's still good runs that pays really well. It doesn't require for a team. So a lot of us are, we're able to go ahead and reset. I actually have a couple right now that are going to be signing up. Actually, they have signed up today. Um, so I was explaining to them that not all the runs require to be, you know, a team. So pretty good runs, pretty good runs. Um, Maybe 5,000 miles a week.
Nice.
Um,
So what we got here? Can you hear me?
yes, I can. I
Okay,
was
good.
scrolling through the comments and I trying to answer some of these questions.
Yeah, I went from
Oh,
5G to nothing, and then back up to
oh.
5G. It just like went bloop.
It's okay. It sucks.
Yeah,
Um,
life on wheels, man.
but they have pretty good loads. Like they have sent us down to Texas, down to Laredo, Texas, and those loads are pretty good money. Um, and so I have asked for good bonuses to get out of there as well, and I always ask for a backup load to get out of that area.
Yeah, one of the things when we were talking to the Panther people is so there's different bonuses based on what you're hauling too. Like if you take a DoD load,
Yep.
there's a bump for that.
Mhm.
If it's a truly critical, like they do these medical loads too,
I've
that that
redone
it,
those.
that they got to be done and they got to be done now. There's bonuses in that company. Um,
Yes.
for a while,
And
here
they
it's
track you too.
yeah. Ooh.
Mhm.
How about cameras? Do you guys have to have cameras in your trucks?
Not that I'm aware of, but we do have them. We purchased our own cameras and just for our protection and, just because we're prior law enforcement, so we like to just be protected all around. So it's like, hey, you know what? Screw it. You just never know. Anything happens and just rather have the video right there. Here you go. Have it.
Hmm. Yeah, that's something that a lot of us ended up going to the Seabright Insurance because it started requiring cameras for their insurance program. And
Mhm.
so that's one of the things we try to harp on is just because you don't have a company camera in your truck, get one for yourself. Protect yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah, we
Yep.
recently had a video on our Facebook group that a dude got in an accident and he put the video up on the group, and that video absolutely proved that he was not at fault. Absolutely.
Yeah, these cameras, I've noticed like a lot of owner operators and I see this on Facebook, a lot of them and get get just totally lost and think, "Oh, I'm an owner operator. I don't need the camera because I don't need
You
it." I
you need it more.
no. Yeah, exactly. It's just like you're not understanding. You definitely need it. And we had gotten also legal shield, to protect ourselves even more in that aspect too. Because it's like, hey, if we needed anything, anything happens, we give them a call as well to have more protection, So is another thing to have as well as the business.
Right. Yeah. As a business owner, it's even more important to protect yourself because you've got
Hmm.
all your assets potentially tied up in this thing.
Yes.
Yeah, so you know, when you're a company driver, they're going to just go after Swift, period. Or
Hmm.
Panther or whoever. But as an LLCS corp, you know, the separation between my house and my business is not what people think it is.
Yeah.
You know, if I got in an accident and got sued, they would say, "Oh, you're the owner of that company, so they're coming after my house."
Yeah.
Absolutely. Um, the LLC does not protect me as much as people think, but what will protect me is my camera, proving that that four wheeler came from 4 lanes away and hit my truck.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah.
and we all see that every day. Life on 18 Wheels wants to know: is your truck governed?
It is. It is governed at 70.
Okay, that seems to be pretty standard on lease contracts from what we've seen, either
Hmm.
70 or 75. But do you guys drive 70, or are you on the 60 or 65 mile an hour club?
Sometimes 68, 70.
Is that
But
is that because you need to get there with your
um
contract, or do you just like driving fast? I mean,
um with some of them is like we need to get there. If we don't need to get there, then we will go at the 65. But if we need to get there, then yeah, we're at the 68, 70.
yeah, my truck's still governed at 68 from back when I was a mentor. I just never had it changed because I never drive that fast anyway. I,
It's
I I've yeah, in my entire 17 years, I've never had a load that required me to go 70, and I generally just drive 60 everywhere I go.
and we're pretty good with the appointments and everything. And if we feel like we're running late, we will call Panther and we will tell them like, hey, look, there's some traffic. Is this really like something that needs to be there by this appointment? And they'll tell us yes, like, or hey, let's notify the customer or something. So they'll work with us, and they'll call us, so we communicate really well all all around.
So it sounds like um, your contract versus our contract. You have a little more responsibilities than we do, a little more leeway, but also the potential for a little more income. And
Mhm.
and that's a point I like to bring up because at Swift, it's pretty much a fire and forget company. We lease a truck, we get on their board, and we get freight. There's benefits to having relationships here, absolutely. Um, especially right now, knowing planners has definitely benefited me and talking to them and to get freight out of those really tough areas. But by and large, Swift is a pretty much get it there from point A to point B and don't hit anything. There's not a whole lot of leeway as far as negotiating, especially right now when rates are so low. There was a time up until about a year and a half ago where I could say, well, do you really need that load done that bad? Because it's going to cost you an extra couple $100. And then they would say, yeah, they give me the extra couple $100. But right now, there's not enough money in the freight for them to do that. So at
Yeah.
Panther, though, there's still this ability to negotiate a little bit. Um, but you have to ask for it, right? Nobody's going to give you anything.
Exactly. And that's what I tell everybody, you always, I ain't afraid to ask for nothing. And I'm like, what, you gonna tell me no? Okay, but I'm gonna ask and I'm not afraid. So every time for every load, I'm asking it, is there room for negotiation? Okay, how much are you asking? They always would tell me, okay, I'm asking for this much. And they'll say, hold on, let me put you on hold. They come back and they say, we could do this much. I'm like, okay, let me put you on hold. And I come back. And then I come back, with a number, and they say, all right, we could do it. And sometimes right off the bat, they'll tell me, they'll know already. There's no room for negotiation for this load. Like, they'll know. And I'm like, okay. If we need it, and like, if the load really needs to get there and we know it needs to get there, okay, there's nothing else. We need to get out of this area. Let's just take this just to get out of here, and then we'll get something better on the other end. And our people, our what you will call it. Oh my goodness, I can't even think about it right now. His our our person, he always works with us, and sometimes even on our empty moves, our to get us moving, he always works with us. He gives us more money on the other end, and just always hooking us up. He's like, I got you. I'm like, okay, okay, you know, to get us moving. And I'm like, hey, I would deadhead. That's another thing with CRST, to deadhead to a location to get a load. They will not pay you for deadhead miles, even as an owner operator. With Panther, they pay you for deadhead.
Hmm.
And I'm like, you need me to pick up this load? Okay, if you're gonna pay me for this, I'll move this truck as long as you're paying me. I have
Hmm.
no problem, and they'll pay me. I'm moving my truck from point A to point B. Hey, I'm making money. I don't
Hmm.
care, and they know it. They'll call me, and some of them will be like, "Oh wow, you have deadheaded this far?" Yes, cause I'm making money. That's all it matters to me, and they understand.
Yeah, one of the things that we have a hard time getting people to wrap their mind around is deadheading to go get a load. Um, at Swift, it's a set rate for empty miles. Um, it's a pretty low rate, but you know, you got to put pencil to paper to see if it's going to be worth it to move the truck to that other location.
Mhm.
Um, there, we see all the time where guys just they'll sit for days instead of moving the truck, you know, 200 miles to get back into a lane where there's freight, and they're paying you the empty miles. Why not move? You
Right.
know. Um, Now I'm really cautious about moving the truck on my own dime. That's for sure.
Mhm.
They need to at least be covering my fuel. Um,
Exactly.
um, there have been rare occasions in my career where I've been willing to move the truck on my own dime to get to a lane where there's freight. But I would say maybe a dozen times in 17 years have I done that. And it was always because I was running team freight with a student and I was in an area that didn't have team freight. But I knew that if I moved that two to 300 miles, I would get a transcontinental load. So at that point, it's worth it. But you got to
Yeah.
put pencil to paper. What are you going to get out of that move? That's the question.
and
So
and I always sit down and do it. I always like constantly thinking and rapping and writing things down and doing it all. And I'm like, you know what? It's gonna be worth it. Ain't nothing we're gonna do here. We just gonna keep killing our fuel here. They don't have anything in the surrounding area, and for this X amount of miles. So hey, it's worth it to move this X amount of miles so we could get something out of there, and we getting paid. So let's go.
there you go. Aaron Miller. Let's get this one in here. How do you even talk to a planner? I can't even get a hold of my driver leader. Only luck I have is waiting until the night shift takes over. So I've got a couple things to say about that. You need to get a hold of your driver leader at some point and discuss with them why you can't get a hold of them. And if that doesn't work, you need to go to your terminal leader and your fleet leader and discuss with them why you can never get a hold of your driver leader. Um, as far as planners go, I've got a list. You should start making a list. Um, Here at Swift, we have the magical, what is it, Macro 10. that goes directly to the planners. And how I got my list was I started making a list of the planners that actually answer the question that I ask them, because those are the guys that take their job seriously. Um, Write them down. Every time someone sends me a message on our Zonar system, they their their direct code for the direct messaging on the Zonar will be at the bottom. Write that down. Start building that relationship with that person. After a while, what ends up happening is they start seeing that your truck is in the area, and if they know you, your odds just went up of getting a decent load. But it takes work, it takes time, it takes patience. Start writing down that contact information whenever you find somebody helpful and get a hold of them. Anytime you know you're going to be in their area, send them a direct message. Say, hey, I'm in your area. Wondering what I'm dropping tomorrow morning. I'm wondering what freight's like getting out of here. And what you're looking for in this market right now at Swift is just an honest answer, right? What I look for is the guys that answer with, well, right now we're 57 loads short, so it might be a while. Or, hey, man, we're a little short, but do you mind going to Laredo? And my answer is always, not at all. I like going to Laredo because the thing about Laredo, guys, is you might actually sit there for 24 hours at the Swift yard. That is true. But you know what? It's at least 800 miles to get out of the state of Texas. Just a clue. You know, there are always longer loads coming out of Laredo than going in. Um, so that's what I had to say about that, Aaron. And I hope that does well for you. Start making your list. If you're having a hard time with your OOC, that's the other thing. Make sure that your driver leader has been trained as an owner operator consultant, because if they haven't, you need to find one that has. At Swift, we have people that are actually trained to run owner operator trucks. They understand our business model. They understand what our goals are. Um, I can't say enough about that. You need to get yourself an OOC if you don't already have one. And you can reach out to us on the Facebook page. We do have some recommendations. My OOC, Dana Nelson, is out of Oregon. She prefers to work with owner operators, but Swift won't hire owner operators in Oregon because of the weird AB5 type laws in that state. However, if you do not live in Oregon, you can still use her as your OOC because your state of residence is not taken into account when it comes to what terminal you're out of. And I've been working with her for 17 years. So talk about a long-term business relationship there. She was my regular DL when I first got out of truck driving school and tried to talk me out of becoming an owner operator at first. And then I did it anyway, and she supported me ever since. So, um, yeah, find yourself an actual OOC. Mike Henderson also, yes. Um, the only regional planner for owner ops in Phoenix is Jerry White. Coretta is, I think, in Edwardsville, if I remember right. And of course, Sue Smith is over in Florida. But let me see if we've got the Trucker CFO. Uh, I thought we had a phone number for them. Do 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 do. I guess we don't. I'll throw this up there real quick though. We'll do a screen crawl there for a Trucker CFO. Trucker CFO is who I use for my accounting services, and Colton was going to listen to the show tonight because you were gonna be on, Wanda. So he hopefully heard you say his people aren't calling you back, and hopefully they will call you on Monday.
Okay. I was
So
gonna
Colton, if
check
you're
what was
listening,
I was gonna check what was her name, but of course I can't. if I exit out of the screen, it's gonna,
kill your feed. Yeah.
yes.
So
And
yeah,
I don't know if my husband is actually watching because he's probably driving. So,
ah, Wimpy McPote always has fun things to say. Killing a truck for $1 freight is stupid. Who's hauling $1 freight, Wimpy? Tell me.
yeah.
Tell me who's hauling $1 freight. I know some people that are, but they're usually on dedicated accounts. Bet Swift. We have some dedicated accounts that only pay like 95 cents a mile plus surcharge. And
Wow.
that hurts my feelings when I see people doing that. But if they could tell me, Wanda, if they could tell me why they're doing what they're doing, then whatever. Okay. You know, there was a time last year where I was talking to the Target dedicated guy out of Phoenix that runs that account, and we sat down and ran numbers, and that's a 92 cent a mile contract. My OTR contract is a graduated contract depending on the mileage. The lower mileage actually pays more per mile, so it's anywhere from $1.15 to $1.45 a mile, which um, doesn't sound like that much, but I'll get into that in a minute. But so the Target dedicated accounts, our mileage got so low there for a while. Like guys were just struggling to get 1,800 miles a week on OTR. Well, these Target guys are doing 3,300 miles a week plus accessorial pay for all their drops. And when we put pencil to paper, they were actually making more than me profit wise each week, even at that 92 cents a mile. So you gotta do that math.
Mm-hmm.
And then people that say stuff like this, I'm going to call you out, Wimpy, because this is something that I'll argue. Even at $2, you're losing money. I am not losing money.
No, definitely not.
I make I'm not making what I did last year. That's for sure, because the mileages are down. But I haven't lost my house. I haven't had anything repossessed. I haven't. I'm making money. You guys that think you've got to run at $2 a mile, what are your costs? Literally want to, because I own my truck outright. It's paid for. So if the wheels turn at all, I'm at a profit. I'm at a
Right.
positive balance sheet. I have no expenses in my business other than fuel and insurance.
Mm-hmm.
So $2 a mile. Why is that your sticking point, Wimpy? Why do you think under $2 a mile you're losing money? What are your expenses? Tell me what your expenses are, and we could talk. Because my expenses are nowhere near what yours are if you're losing money at $2 a mile. If I was making $2 a mile with my expenses, I'd be living in a McMansion. I could tell you that right now. Um, I could tell you because I just ran numbers on my truck since I first picked it up in 2017. My truck has profited me almost 750,000 miles more than what it cost me, or $750,000 since I picked it up in 2017. That sounds like, and that's money that went into my bank account, by the way. That's when everything's said and done. Um, Pretty close to $750,000. I'm just saying that's not losing money. If someone gave me a new truck, couldn't pay fuel and insurance for $2 a mile, I disagree.
Yeah,
I I
definitely.
disagree. I've run the numbers. I'm looking at getting some more trucks and building a small fleet on $1.15 contract, Wimpy, on $1.15 contract. Now, obviously, there's fuel surcharge on top of that, so it's not really $1.15. It's let's see, fuel surcharge this week is 48 cents, so 58 $1.63 a mile, so $1.62 a mile is what we're making right now this week. And I mean,
Hermano, llegaste.
Hola, sorry y'all. Didn't mean to pop in, just interrupt things,
hey,
but I'm out and
hey,
I'm good.
hey, how high are you?
I'm a little bit high right now. I got drugs.
No, 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 no,
Drugs.
no, 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 no. Batman.
I can't with you.
We're driving.
So
He
now that
just left
Charlie's
us
on,
today.
now that Charlie's on, viewership will go up. All right, we gotcha.
Yeah, I don't even know what's really going on.
When your
It all
truck
went
dies,
good.
what's the place to replace it? I'm arguing with Wimpy McPote right now.
Okay.
So when
When
your
your
truck
truck
dies, what's
dies.
the price to replace it? Well, for me, I can actually tell you, $105,000. That's what it would cost me to replace my truck. $105,000 by the time I paid off an MRP lease. That's what it would be. Now,
Wait.
over the lifetime of that truck, I'm going to make $500,000.
137.
Is that the new one that you
Yeah.
just figured out? Okay.
Yeah.
137. So in the life of that truck, though, I was just telling people, Charlie, I just ran numbers today, actually,
Nice.
on how much money I've made with this truck, and it's about $750,000 profit.
Yes.
So by the time that truck dies, I will have made another $750,000 profit, Wimpy.
Easily.
Again, not losing money on a sub-2 contract. You just have to run your business right. You got to shop for your insurance like we did. You got to shop for fuel like I do every single day.
Right.
So that's you know. And now we get down to it, Charlie. You're gonna love this: 2 house payments, 3 car payments, car insurance, property tax, homeowners insurance. I'll get paid with my 65-cent salary. Don't want any more insurance for our truck. Okay, that's up to you. I make more money than you.
That's a decision. I mean, that's a legit decision to make.
I've only got 1 house payment, by the way, and I don't have any car payments. I pay myself 57 cents a mile, and then I distribute the rest to myself without having to pay self-employment tax on it. Just saying.
Right.
So there's tax benefits to what I'm doing as well. So yeah, I mean,
It's a thing. It's a thing. Oh, we lost Wanda's video.
yeah, it's
Wanda,
been a little
come back.
wonky. I'm glad that
Could
this
blame
didn't
it
happen
all
when I lost my
on
signal,
me.
because that would have been embarrassing.
Right. So I didn't mean to throw off your guys' groove. I just want to pop in and at least say, hey, I'm
Hey,
gonna.
did you
Hey,
did you hit yourself in the face?
I did not. It was awesome, and they were
Okay.
amazed that I was like so ready to go so quickly. They were like, "Yeah, he's like superstar," and I'm like, "Yes, I am. Thank you."
Yep.
So,
So
did I
yeah,
miss
I
anything good?
no, we talked about Panther quite a bit in the beginning.
Nice,
Her contract's pretty sweet, but it's I actually talked to Colton before the show too about the Panther thing a little bit.
sweet.
Um, and
It's okay.
she's on one of those team expedited accounts, so
Right,
me and my solo truck would not make what she makes, obviously.
right.
I think the difference is that when we were talking earlier, me and Colton, that the solo
Colton and
over there, whatever,
I.
Oh my God.
is
Can y'all
at
hear
like a
me?
dollar.
Yes.
Is it like $1.40 for solos, whereas
Right.
it's closer to $1.70 or something for the teams. So yeah.
I'm gonna switch cameras here real quick. Let's see if it works. All right.
Did you unfold me?
I did. I opened the fold, yo. Wonder if I turn it sideways if it'll be better. Oh, look at that. I'm so much larger. Wait, I don't know how to
Uh
control the camera that way. I can't do that. I can't. Brain power
huh.
is not there, bro. Wanda, it is so good to see you on here finally. We've been wanting to do this for so long. And there she is. Hi, Wanda. La
Can y'all hear
Jefa.
me?
Yes.
I have lost y'all.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
I came in and ruined it all. I'm sorry.
So, Wimpy's got some advice for you, Charlie. This is awesome. Drinking often intensifies those half meds, Charlie.
Yeah, no, I'm good, bro. I'm good. I appreciate the heads up. I'm good. I do have a tequila night coming in the next 6 weeks. I can tell you that. Nobody needs to see that, but I have
No,
not had a drink since before August. Not that I'm a big drinker. I mean, don't get me wrong, but every now and then I like to have a little sip here and there. You know. Hi, Donna. Sorry.
oh, Pete said hi earlier. So yeah,
Hi, Pete. I like Pete. Pete's fun.
yeah. And Donna's always actually on my stuff about this one. How much is enough, really? I mean, how much do
And
you really need to live the life that you want to live? That's a
and for
legitimate
everybody,
question.
yeah, for everybody that's different.
Yeah, yeah, it is. You know, I mean, Charlie and I, we argue all the time when you guys don't see us on the air here, and it's always,
Oh,
why the hell did you spend
okay.
that money on that? Why'd you buy that thing? That's stupid, Jeff.
Are you back,
Or
Heffa?
I'm back. I
All
don't know what
right.
happened.
It's okay. It happens. No biggie.
she's on an iPhone.
Yeah.
Oh, that's your problem. Get rid of that thing. I'm sorry.
Oh my God, my husband would agree with you.
So when she and I were talking about the show, she's like, "But I don't have a fancy camera and stuff like you and Charlie." And I'm like, "You just need to do it. You just need to use your phone. It's good. Just
Right.
use your phone." And we were talking on the phone, so I couldn't see her face, but I could her whole. She got excited. Really, really, I could use my phone. That's
Yes.
awesome. Yes,
Yeah.
Yes.
technology is our friend.
It is. Well, most days it is our friend.
Oh, I could not figure out how to do your normal intros, by the way. So whatever.
I was
Yeah.
gonna
I'm
print
like, I
out
need
like
to get a whole stand and everything. I'm like, you know what? This is gonna work my hair. I'm chilling. I'm at home. I'm comfortable.
I'm glad you were home too. This worked out great, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a little easier when you're not mobile. Like my signal could go away because we're literally driving home. So
yeah, yeah.
there's that.
Yeah, Mike Henderson's always got something to say when these things come up. I've ran as an owner operator here at Swift since 2007. Only the COVID year and the year I went bankrupt did I make less than 100K. If you work hard and watch your fuel, you can make money at Swift. You can make money
Mike,
anywhere, man.
Mike, net gross. I gotta ask the question because that's an important question, and I
Well,
know
we
the answer,
we
but
do know the answer to that. The answer is net. What do you put in his bank? But and Jim Wall wants you to know to get rid of the crapple phone.
yes. Look, we're just picking on you. You do you. I look. I love the hell out of you. Look, for
Oh.
those of you who don't know, I've been talking to Wanda for quite some time. Jeff and I have both been kind of in and out with Wanda for quite some time, and I dig Wanda. Wanda and Dee are great people. I just love the hell out of them, and
Oh,
they've
we
gone through
love you
some
guys.
trying times, like for real. Like, so I don't know how much your story you shared, but Wanda has gone through some seriously trying times in the business side of things, and
Yeah.
yet she perseveres. She keeps ticking at it because she wants to do this. It's not just, oh, it's, oh yeah, I'm just buying another job. And no, no, no. She is building a business. She is building her little empire, and we want nothing but the best for her.
Thank
Oh
you.
yeah.
Yeah, definitely. The other good thing I like about them here is that obviously I could switch from team to solo. So obviously I'm at home, right? So
Right.
I'm like, I need time. So,
So
so I'm here, and then,
I,
my plans is to get another truck. So,
right.
and that's what I'm working on. So
Did you
hopefully
talk
next year
about where you
sometime.
were before this?
Yes, a
Yes,
little bit.
a little
Okay.
bit.
All
Yeah.
we always said was that there were some unfortunate incidents that happened there.
Yeah.
Right. Move over one more lane, my love, when you get a chance.
Are you
Sorry.
mentoring?
I'm
Are you men-
navigating.
Are you mentoring during the show?
I'm I'm the freaking navigator, bro. This is could be tragic.
Flight of the Navigator.
I already missed one of our easy turns to make the route so easy, and I'm like, oh, I'm just talking on the stuff. Why would I pay attention? It's fun. I got you, babe. I got you. I know where the name. Oh,
Oh, oh, oh. So
I'll call her
what
in a
the
minute.
hell is that?
That's my mom calling
So
Rosie's phone.
so we've gone full circle back here. I agree with you, Wimpy. Pittsburgh sucks. Everything on a hill, telephone poles at the curves, only one way in and out. Good thing I'm traveling in the dark.
Right?
Dude, I haven't been to Pittsburgh in so long, but yeah, that's what I remember about it, man.
Hmm.
Whoa, you're messing with me
Sorry,
here.
I like that better. I needed the orientation. I don't like being at the top.
Yeah, you're a
That
bottom. We
sounded
know
weird.
that.
What? See, you made it that way, not me. One more lane to your left, my love. Oh, so I made it out. I have one less body part within me, and I have pictures of it.
Of course you do,
Oh,
because it's you.
that has to be cool.
I will share them later on. Definitely not now because I can't sort that out.
To the
That's way
replay
too much
people,
technical.
speed up the stream to hear Charlie's usual voice.
Right? Oh my God. Not Crystal Lake. No,
So
I
yeah,
don't know the name. I'll know it when I see it. Sorry. I apologize.
so our buddy Alan. Um,
Dude,
I was
slaying it.
talking before the show a little bit about it, but he just picked up his truck number 5 for his fleet.
Looks like a used up piece of bubble gum, but that's okay.
I'm not sure. Is that Charlie? Was that the guy you sent me his number, Alan?
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Yep.
Yep. He's
Yeah,
our
he's
fleet owner guy that's been slowly expanding and has a
and
solid plan and all that kind of
and
wonderful
he's the
stuff.
guy that we'll give him ideas that we're too chicken to try out, and he goes and does it, and we're like, okay, that worked. I'll
For
do it now.
real. He is
or
not afraid of
or
risk.
or dude, that sucked. Sorry about that. I'm not doing that now.
Right?
Oh, oh my God.
Yeah, his next move, and I don't know if Charlie, if he talked to you about this, but his next move is he's reactivating his authority in January,
Right.
and he's going to split his
Oh.
fleet between spot market and Swift
Next
contract
slide.
freight.
Right.
So, and I was talking to Colton
Ooh.
about that a little bit, and he was actually kind of excited about that. That it seems like a good diversification of his business to run both
I
sides like that.
I myself may be talking to Colton about a possible business opportunity in the very near future. We'll have to
Yeah, you and
do
I need
some
to talk about
research.
that.
Yeah. So
Did
we will
did
do some research there.
did Rosie tell you the text I sent her?
Just briefly. Like
Yep.
I don't have focus for real hard numbers yet. So
Well, technically, Rosie owns half your business, so I figure
absolutely.
she could be in on it all. And
Let's be real. She owns everything.
Right.
well, well, Wanda, that's one thing that you didn't tell people is when you had your first trucking business, your husband worked for you, right? He was your driver.
Um, he worked for a Panther. Yes.
But
So
he worked for you
Yes.
when you made that transition.
Yes.
That's a weird dynamic for a lot of people. You know what I mean? It's hard working for a spouse, and a lot of people don't understand that. It's hard to be able to separate those things. And you guys seem to do it well. I mean, I don't dig deep in your, you know, I don't know if you guys butt heads over stuff or things like that. I mean, we all do at times, but you guys seem, I mean, from everything I've ever seen and talking with you, you know, You guys seem to work things out really well, and I think you're adulting well. How's that? I lack adulting skills some days.
He knows I'm the boss, and we handle it respectfully and how it should be. And business wise, everything is done how it should be. So
He's a strong man behind an extremely strong woman.
Hmm.
yeah, good way how to put it.
I mean, for real. I mean, and I don't say that to be like flippant or anything like that about it. It's I mean, for those well, most of you don't know, eh, Wanda is a very strong-minded Puerto Rican lady that has very strong opinions and is damn sure not afraid to share them with whomever she's talking to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's a hard thing to deal with, but they deal with it well. And that's something that a lot of people don't look at when they are coming out with their spouse. Is it's a very hard dynamic. It's a, yes, my love. It's a hard transition to make because business and loved ones are sometimes kind of clashy, if that makes sense. But
Mhm.
you got to
Sometimes,
be
yeah.
able to draw those lines. So and they do well, and I dig it. So I don't know. I'm sorry, I'm rambling. I
Yeah.
apologize.
Yeah.
Oh no, you're not. You're right. And a lot of relationships clash because they can't seem
They
to
do.
separate. So
Right.
it's true, and they have a lot of problems, a lot of fights in the trucks, a lot of uh, everything goes down in that truck inside of there. So, I mean,
So
we
you
are.
and when you and D, let's throw it out there. If you guys have absolutely differing opinions, or you're just having for lack of better terms, a shitty day, like with Rosie and I, we're like, look, you just need to shut up and leave me alone for a little while, even though we're in this, 10 by 10 cubicle,
Box.
right? Yeah, and for a lot of people that's hard to do because people's feelings get hurt. And with Rosie and I, and I'm gonna assume the same with you and D, that you can just be like, look, you need to just be quiet for a little while. Let me do my thing. Let me decompress, breathe, and then we can move on and be, happy one and D. Right now, I'm boss lady.
Right.
How does
Yeah,
he deal with
exactly.
that?
I mean, we both know how to deal with it, so we take our time, we take our moment. I mean, he either sits in the front chair and I'm in the back laying down,
Right,
or I'm in the front and he's in the back. Or we take a walk in the park, and in I say in the
right.
park, but in the parking lot
Yeah, yeah,
or whatever. We have our puppy, so we go take the puppy on a walk and all that. We do what we gotta do. We come back and we're like, okay, ready to talk, or we not ready to talk, whatever. We're not
right.
ready to talk. We just lay back
Yeah,
down and we chill, we good, watching a movie, whatever. Whenever we
and
ready to talk, he knows.
that's the hard part for couples in a truck.
hmm
I mean,
And he's
I've
not
heard.
a confrontational person. I am.
Right,
I'm like, we need to solve this now. Let's talk about this. And I'm like,
right,
I'm more like, if we don't talk about it and we don't squash this right now, I feel like it's gonna be more to talk about later. I'm gonna bring it right
right.
back up to where it's gonna
Yep,
cause me
yep.
to get angry right back or whatever. So let's
Hmm.
just solve it. Let's squash it now and get it out the
Right.
way. So we do that, and boom, it's done. Okay, now we good.
Yeah, how
You
I
know.
solved all those problems in one fell swoop, Charlie.
How?
Took my passenger seat out.
Ah, you dirty man. But and Donna, like with Jeff and Donna, they have like 37 kids. So she's got like a whole nother set of things that she deals with,
we
and
also
man,
got we also got that many kids.
see you
Most of
breeders, man.
Yeah, most of ours are already, you know, older. So the youngest ones are 10 and 8. So
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
And those are all things that, a lot of people don't think about. and just the home front thing, and then with like you and D and Rosie and I, and I mean there's Sean and Stephanie out there who work together on their truck.
Hmm.
Um, those are things that a lot of people don't look about, and I think it's often overlooked. And you get on the truck with, and you're like, oh, this is terrible idea because I don't know how to deal with this crap. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So yeah, Donna and Jeff still have three at home, and so yeah, I mean there's a lot to manage, and then like you and D being out here, I mean it's you still have that home life that you got to worry about and manage, plus the business, plus the truck, plus the fact that one of you technically is the boss over the other. But I mean, you guys are a partnership. You guys do well. So I'm sorry. I just
Mhm.
think that we overlook a lot of that part of this type of thing in that team situation, even in a solo situation. The often forgotten other half,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that a lot of us seem to take for granted. I mean, I did. I took it for granted for quite a long time, and that will bite you in the ass. You've got to maintain and manage all of it.
It's hard. Yeah. Mike Henderson
Mike
says
Henderson,
my
my
wife would kill
wife
me
would kill me. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
10 minutes into driving if she got in the truck.
Hey, look, and you need to know those things. I mean, that's real.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
even for those of us that drive solo, Donna's at home with the kids and running the house, and you know, every year I do point out to her when the business magazines and everybody on Mother's Day tell people what a stay-at-home mom is worth in the economy. I
Right.
make sure she knows that because,
Absolutely.
yeah, it's more than I make, by the way. It's usually in the hundreds of thousands of dollars of market value that a stay-at-home mom
And
has.
that's just the financial
Mhm.
side. I mean,
Yeah.
then you throw in the I don't know what word to use here, but the support, the words suck right now. Sorry. I think you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. Definitely, it's it's a lot. It's a lot to be a stay-at-home mom. Is a lot of stuff that we have discussed, also for our future, you know, as we discuss for ourselves, to grow our own family, So for me to stay at home and still run a business and plan to grow more, our fleet and him staying out there and doing all of that and everything else, So it's a
Right.
lot, definitely a
Mhm.
lot.
Bear Hunter says, my wife and I just
Mhm.
say, not talking to you no more, then laugh. So
Yeah, that's
when you
legit.
when you actually meet them, you will understand that right there because they're like Bonnie
Yeah,
and Clyde, those two.
yeah, for
You know,
real.
we've been in Vegas with them twice now, and they just egg each other on. No matter how stupid the thing that Sean is doing, she's right there saying, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, do it, get him, get him."
We can do it. We can do it. Heck yeah. She is absolutely his partner in crime, and I love their dynamic. It's
Oh
funny.
yeah, I mean, if they seriously disagree about anything, I don't know what it would be because they're just like, "Yeah, let's do this."
Right?
Yeah. And that's the one thing, we always have supported each other about everything. It's like, hey, you know what?
Yes.
We have had each other's back 1000%,
Right.
from day one. So when he mentioned going into trucking, I was like, okay, you go ahead and do that. I don't know how I'm gonna like this. I'm gonna search
Right.
some stuff, but he jumped into it. He was doing trucking, driving, doing all of that, and I was like, I don't know. I still was in law enforcement, doing my stuff, and he,
Keep putting my window up.
was doing it, and I said, okay, I'll give this a try. Let me see. I don't know.
That's good.
And after searching into it, I was like, shoot, truckers are making some
Right?
money. Let me see. I,
Right?
Yeah,
I want to make more money than these, officers, but I still back my people up. So It's just a lot of
So
shit that law
did you actually
enforcement is
touch on
dealing
that
with.
earlier?
On what?
What happened?
Yeah, you, Zoop, Freddy is the devil.
What happened?
Oh my God, bad signal. Sorry.
You on that? Oh, you're on the toll road.
Yeah, we just got on it. Go figure, right? So anyhow, Wanda and Dee came from a law enforcement background. They were both cops. So I mean, talk about alpha people already, and then throw them in a truck together. That's amazing to me. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm gonna pop off here and let you guys finish your thing because my
Hey,
signal's gonna go to shit.
Mike has a question for you first.
Okay,
Yes,
Charlie, I
Charlie,
have
I
to
have to
ask.
ask. Why
Go.
does your state have so many damn scales? We just drove to Disney World and I forgot how many they have. They were all open. Holy hell, there's a ton.
Oh yeah, yeah, for
Oh,
real. Like
definitely.
they ain't playing. All right, guys. I'm gonna catch you guys. I'm gonna watch because me talking is not gonna be helpful right now. So thank you
Okay.
everybody
Okay.
for all the well
Take
wishes and all that
care.
good stuff. I'll be sitting in the background if you need me, holler at me. I'm gonna stay in the studio and listen. Love
Okay. Have
Okay.
everybody.
fun.
Throw me down, Jeff, because I don't know how to do it from my phone.
Technology. So I had actually planned on leading with this, but we didn't. So, I have to ask you, Wanda, why? What's your big why? Why do you guys do what you do?
I mean, financially, it's just better, for us. It brings more money to the family, and it has, assisted us to cover more. Also, as far as for us, for when we were in law enforcement, you know, we were out there putting our lives out there. We don't have to worry about that. We were risking everything,
Hmm.
Yeah, with in trucking, we're out there driving, but we're not facing everything that we had to face as we were facing in law enforcement. So the safety, the security that we feel now,
Hmm.
So, that's just our big why.
So how long were you in law enforcement for?
I was there for about, I wasn't there for long, actually, maybe like 3 to 4 years.
Hmm.
Um, I had my son passed away, so I just felt like after that, I was like, you know what? When my husband started doing the trucking, I said maybe the trucking will be best for me. That's what made me jump into the trucking as well.
Okay.
Um, and but my husband for a little over 10 years.
Oh wow. So
Yeah.
that's a pretty big transition then.
Yes.
Wow. All right, guys. If you got any questions, do you have someone from another carrier here that's been around a little bit? I'm not seeing any new questions. We got Mike's there. We already addressed that. Give me a second. I'm going to go up and see if we missed anything. Got that. Charlie just completely disappeared. Squirrels. All right. So, what would your number one thing be when someone tells you that they want to be an owner operator truck driver? What's the first thing that you would ask them?
What what I would ask them?
Hmm. What advice
Um,
or what advice would you give them right out of the gate?
Definitely do your research. What, what are they looking for? Why they want to do this as well. And do their research as far as company wise. You know, Look for, there's going to be a lot of pros and cons with every company. But like the examples I gave earlier with CRST and Panther, the things that CRST, you know, didn't do for me, and the things that Panther does, that's
Mhm.
a big huge difference as far as, income wise, so that helps you out a lot. It brings your numbers, up. So that helps any family out. um
Hmm.
Another thing is, as far as contracts, definitely read those contracts. A lot of people don't read them. They just jump straight into a contract and are really happy that they got a truck. Woo, yay, well, I got a truck, it don't matter. And some of them are like, I'm just gonna go ahead and turn this sucker in a year or two and make all the money I can, and that's it, be done with it.
Hmm.
But this is, you're trying to run a business, definitely, try to run it right and do things right. Um, I'm trying to think of what else. Jeez, my brain right
That's
now.
that's one of the things that's almost become a motto for Contractors Corner is to stop paying for a job, start owning your business. Because we
Yeah,
see a lot of people out there, like you're saying, they're just like, oh, I want a red truck, I don't want a blue truck, so I'm going to go be an owner operator. And then they never run the business, and then they end
mhm,
up going out of business, and all of a sudden it's the carrier's fault.
yeah,
But the fact is they didn't run the business, right? They didn't do the extra work that we do every day as owner operators to get, you know, in your case you're negotiating with the carrier from time to time. Me, I'm always shopping the best fuel prices. I'm always looking for better deals on things like insurance and things like that. Um, these are things you have to do as a business owner to stay alive.
mhm, yeah,
And
definitely. Sorry, it got brighter in here.
uh, and I see a lot of people not taking all those things into account, and then either they get frustrated and quit, or some of them actually figure it out and they end up doing pretty well. But
Right.
we like we'll get back to Alan real quick. So something happened on our private Facebook group this week that I thought was interesting. We had one guy post that he was turning in his truck. He's done. He can't work for this amount of money or whatever. And yet you've got a guy like Alan that just bought his fifth truck.
Mhm.
What's the difference? You know, I think a lot of people would do well to go talk to people like yourself or me and Charley or Alan, people that are successful, and learn what we do that's different than that guy that just turned in his truck.
Yeah,
You know,
mentors.
you know, and that's what's cool about living when we live. Even a decade ago, you couldn't do what we're doing right now. You know, talking about the trucking business, whether it be on the Facebooks or here on YouTube or whatever. There's so much information out there that
Mhm.
the I'll just be mean for a second. Say, the excuse of ignorance is no longer valid in 2023. There's just
Right.
too many resources out there to get educated. We do our best to educate people. I know that you talk to people. I'm sure you talk to people at your carrier,
Mhm.
and try and get people to maybe rethink a few things and do better for themselves. Because you get to a certain point in life where just making the money is not as satisfying as it used to be. It's
Mhm.
time. It's time to teach other people now. You
Yeah.
know.
Which that's what I
So
was trying to get with Panther and ES, like, cuz I know I'm Hispanic. I speak Spanish, I write it and everything. So I told them, I said, "Hey, I understand it's a big Hispanic culture out there, so I want to assist them as much as I can to." And they jump into this, and they might jump into it thinking, "Okay, I got this," but they might not understand what they jump into. So I'm like, hey, maybe I could assist by translating what they have jumped into. You're right back.
Put me back down. I'm sorry. I lost it. I
you're
don't have that
Apacheant
control. I
on
can't
the
find it.
prowl.
What happened?
What?
VA. He's a VA Apacheant on patrol. On parole.
Quiet your mouth. I can't spell.
Ah, it's funny because you're high
Put
a
me
little bit.
back in the green room.
Oh man.
Oh,
But yeah, I mean,
oh, oh man, I can't with him. So yeah, I was telling them, I could assist with that, because it's pretty bad. I've been on the Facebook pages, and a lot of these people are like, yeah, I don't understand the contract. I'm like, so you didn't read it, because they did not understand what that contract said. Like CRST, they
mhm,
just email you the contract, boom, and you can electronically just sign it. So a lot of people just ping ping, hit a certain spot, sign, they're done. You know, ES, they actually go over it in detail with you. They have
mhm,
people there in front of you, and they have those advisors going over it with you. So, if they have someone that speaks Spanish, and they understand but don't fully comprehend everything that is there, and they're willing to get into this industry, and they know what they're doing and everything, but they need somebody that could assist them to translate this. I'm like, hey,
mhm.
have somebody available that could assist with that. So that's what I'm trying to also do, and I'm trying to speak to different people, but I'm trying to work that.
Yeah, yeah, that'll be good because our experience at like the driver appreciation week in Phoenix, the big one that Swift has, a good amount of the people we talk to don't understand us. They speak Spanish, and they're interested in things like the fuel card. And it was kind of
Hmm.
funny last year. We have a guy, Bitcoin John, that was like the best ambassador for the ES fuel card ever, and we kept on having these Mexican dudes come up to us, and they would just say Bitcoin John, and we knew exactly what they were talking about. So we got Rosie to talk to him in Spanish about the fuel card, so there was no misunderstanding at all. And
Hmm.
and so that's a huge need, I think, is for the Hispanic community. Um,
Yeah, most
you know,
definitely.
some of the things I'm involved with Contractors Corner, some of the people I've met and some of the gurus or whatever that I follow, that's part of what we're doing is this information should be accessible to everyone. Doesn't matter what culture or anything you're from. Some of these principles of success that we teach, everybody deserves the chance to get to learn them. And there's a huge one of the things I've seen, and it's the same thing with the language barrier. There's principles that I use that I learned back in my white collar days when I was a corporate automaton, and they speak corporate. Truck drivers don't speak corporate,
Hmm.
right? And yet the principles are valuable. Everybody should have that opportunity, I think. And I'm not bilingual. Charlie's barely bilingual, kind of, sort of, maybe, but not really.
Yes.
Um, and so we look at you and Rosie, and we're like, yeah, they can talk to those people and help them where we can't. And that's one of the
Hmm.
reasons I want you on the show is to kind of get the word out that you're one of those people.
Yeah,
And
that's what I'm trying to get out there, so trying to talk to Panther and ES, so let's see how, that goes.
yeah. Oh yeah, I remember this too, Mike. Mike Henderson pops in here with when I started as an owner operator at Swift, they had a 2-day orientation. It was so helpful. They went over fuel tax, how important fuel was to your success. Yeah, they went over a lot of stuff. I went through that as well. I started also as an owner operator at Swift in 2007, and I went through that same orientation. And there's actually some reasons why they don't do that anymore. Unfortunately, I don't know if you know this, but Swift kind of got sued just a little bit a few years ago. They got hit with one of those misclassification lawsuits, and so they stopped doing anything at all with us as a result of that lawsuit. Because that was one of the arguments, is that they were micromanaging our businesses. So what happened as a result of that kind of an unintended consequence was they stopped doing things like that orientation because that made us look too much like company drivers. Crazy, right?
Yes, I know.
So Mike, that's the reason why that happened, by the way. So, all right, Charley.
He keeps popping in. He is too much.
Yeah, technology is not your friend today, my friend.
Yeah, nah.
So yeah, that's the other thing too is some of the people that we are associated with, and this is one of the interesting things about ES success in trucking is that you're insulated enough from Panther because of ES that there is no way on this earth that you could sue Panther on a misclassification lawsuit. I don't know if you know that, but that's one of the services that they do for the carriers is they create more of a separation between you and them so that you can't say that you were an employee at Panther. It's kind of an
Mhm.
interesting side effect of what they do.
Mhm.
So, and that the reason that's concerning to me is because I always said if I ever met the dude that started the lawsuit against Swift, I might go to jail. You might have had to arrest me because he was messing with my business and my ability to feed my family. Because the potential, another thing that's happened in the industry is you remember CR England used to be the learn, teach, lease company. They really pushed their owner operator program on just about everybody. Um,
Mhm.
they got sued so hard that they stopped having owner operators.
So they're
Okay,
just straight company drivers.
they're all company drivers now.
Mhm.
It's actually how Colton ended up being Trucker CFO was that he used to he ran their accounting department for the owner operator division because they had an in-house accounting service for their owner operators, and he ended up buying that from them and becoming Trucker CFO. That's how he got his
Mm.
start. So yeah, that it was the potential here at Swift was that the lawsuit would have cost them so much money that they would just hang it up and say no more owner operators. And then what's a guy like me supposed to do? At the time, I was halfway through a lease deal. What am I supposed to do now? Either turn my truck in, or I couldn't come up with the $100,000 that I still owed them. You know,
Mhm.
so yeah, that those types of things kind of really chap me a little bit. They really grind my gears a bit. So all right, guys. Do we have any more questions? Any more questions? I think Charlie's laying down, isn't he? Does it look like
Oh
Charlie's
no.
laying down? No, he just had
No,
his.
but this bill just whipped my ass.
Oh, okay. It hit you, huh? Oh, look at him. That's. We'll put him back. We'll put him back in my pocket there.
Yeah.
Remember, Charlie,
Oh
drugs are
my
bad.
god.
Drugs are bad.
Yeah. Oh, he said that. That pill kicked it. Oh man.
but but yeah. So one of the things we're interested in um, is getting with more carriers like Panther, Forward Air, maybe even a FedEx or something, and learning more about their operation because Swift is a company. They've got their program, and it works for some, it doesn't for others. And we'd like to be able to recommend people to different carriers based on what their goals are. You
Mhm.
know, the nice thing about Swift is it's really hard to actually fail at Swift. Even if you fail, you don't really fail. You just go back as a company driver, right? So it's kind of a good place to get a start. People like Charlie and I, it basically comes down to 17 years of building relationships It would be really hard for us to go to another carrier at this point because we just legitimately like the people we work with,
Yeah.
and we're making enough money to suit our needs. So why go do that again? You know, unless I got
Yeah.
bored. If I got really bored, I'd probably start looking. You know,
Mhm.
but
And that's what
what?
was that was one of my reasons why I was looking into, Swift,
Hmm.
So I mean, when it didn't work out, I was like, okay, well, you know what? I already knew Panther and knew all that, and then Charley mentioned, you know what? Check ES. They assist with this, this, and that, and I was like, okay, well, let me talk to them. And then I
Hmm.
liked everything, and I like to do you know, all my check all my cross all my T's and I's and everything else. So I was like, okay, wait a second. Talked right back to Panther and everything. Talked again to ES. Like I went back and forth. And finally, I was like, okay, you know what? Everything looks good, sounds good, and they helped us. They helped a lot. And I
Hmm.
said, okay, we're gonna go ahead and make the jump. So
Nice, excellent.
and plus ES has other opportunities as well. So, you know, I like that.
Yeah, if you guys are interested, especially if you're a team operation, and you're looking for a change, I would call ES. It's not for everybody, I can tell you that.
Hmm.
Um, it is it is a different situation, and you're going to have to talk to them to find out the details.
Hmm.
Yeah, Charlie says that pill is kicking in good now.
Yeah.
It's in our private chat. I just thought I'd share that. His, see, he's still in the green room, guys, and we're watching his head do this. He's all he's all having
He's
fun there.
done. He's high.
Yep, yep, yep. He's like John Travolta in his in Pulp Fiction, driving down the road.
Hmm. Yeah.
Oh man. All right, guys, we're coming up close to the 2 hours. If you got any more questions for us, throw them up there. Make sure you're hitting that like button, of course. And if you like what we got to say, subscribe to the channel. Help us out a little bit there. Get that algorithm going. Um, and if you're watching on the replay, go ahead and ask your questions there. Of course, I'm out driving and Charlie's high, but the Donna usually likes to monitor what's going on there and let us know, hey, you need to answer this question if we miss it. So Tracy Samsel just says work ethics, and that's something else too. We see a lot of guys. I don't know how things are over where you're at, but we have a lot of guys at Swift, and I'm gonna get a little negative here for a second, so I apologize. But you know, they want to go out and drive for 4 days and be home for three and make money. It's the most bizarre thing, and you can kind of do that, like like I live close enough to a Walmart DC where I could go do that myself, but I have a paid for truck. You got to get to that point to where you're financially stable before you can do that. And over the years, my lifestyle has gotten a little more expensive, better house, all that stuff. So I've just kept on working. Um, you know, when I go home, I usually start out thinking I'm going to be home for a couple of days, and it ends up being 2 weeks. And by the end, it's like, ah, man, I guess I better go back to work because the bank wants some money. So, you know, and then I'll be out for a month, sometimes two, and then I'll go do that again. But that's the main thing is having that goal to actually own the truck. Again, I just told you guys that I did my numbers and the amount of money that I made on this one truck, and I only did this one truck because it's the one I actually paid off. So it's maybe to some of you it sounds a little unfair because I've been without a payment for a couple of years now. Um, but yeah, uh, Oh, CW here on mommy's account. Dang autocorrect. Okay, that's interesting. Um, but yeah, the work ethic is definitely big in owner operator land. You can't just sit back and hope the money rolls in. Well, like the saying, oh, the old saying, if the wheels ain't turning, you ain't earning. That's definitely the case in owner operator world. Yeah,
That's definitely true.
you're exactly right, Mike. Mike Henderson says way too many guys jump it to owner so they can go faster, which you probably know Charlie and I's opinion on that one. You go faster, you burn more fuel. You burn more fuel, you make less per mile. Now, if you're getting the mileage to make up for that, that's one thing. But a lot of people aren't, especially right now. You know, you got that 1,000-mile load that's got 3 days on it. Why are you doing 70 miles an hour? You're burning fuel for no reason. Oh, I get there faster. But why? You got a live unload. You're going to sit there for a day, maybe idling your truck in Phoenix, wasting that fuel. No, thank you. Yeah, and Trina said most fail from poor work ethics. Yeah, I'll agree with that to an extent. There's a lot of guys that work their butts off and still fail, dude. Um, and that comes down to that comes down to knowing how to run the business. You know, knowing your numbers. That type of work, for some reason, that type of work is not considered part of having a good work effort ethic, and that kind of just blows my mind a little bit because that's part of what we do. That's part of our work. Kevin Rutherford likes to say, "Do the hard work," and what he's talking about that is when he's talking about that, it's doing your numbers, looking at your profit and loss statement. Um, so, what's your over there at Panther? What do you feel like the company culture is like there? Do you talk to a lot of drivers? Are they friendly? Are they bitter? How do you find the drivers over there?
I have not come across a lot of them, and maybe about two or three, and some of them are straight trucks and couples as well, and
Hmm.
they drive. They're not owner operators. They're driving for owner operators, and they want to get their own trucks and all that, and they're talking to the owner operator about trying to get their own trucks.
Hmm.
So, we talk to them and give them information as well, so they're getting almost the same information from the owner that they're driving, so they're hesitant because I guess they're getting some other information from their owner that they're driving. So it kind of makes them not want to make that leap just yet, but other than that, is we haven't really come across a lot of owner operators. I don't know if it's just because we're constantly moving or what it
Hmm.
is, but we just haven't come across them.
Yeah, that's one thing that is interesting about the industry. What we find is that there's two types of owner operators that are willing to talk to guys. There's the ones that'll tell you I make $250,000 a year, and then there's the ones that say, yeah, I tried it and I almost went bankrupt. Those are the two people that are willing to talk to people. And
Mhm.
you talk to that 250, $300,000 guy, be careful because chances are they're telling you what their gross revenue is, not what they put in the bank.
Mhm.
And when you encounter that guy that went bankrupt, don't listen to him because he didn't know how to run a business. That's the bottom line on that one.
We came
That's
across a lot of those at CRST.
did you?
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things I'll say a lot, especially on Facebook, when people are like, "Well, this one guy told me this, and he almost lost his house, or this, that, the other thing." I'm like, "Well, then why are you listening to him? Obviously, he doesn't know how to run a business." You know, I spend some of my time talking people out of becoming an owner operator because as I ask them questions, it's pretty obvious that they probably are not going to do that well, at least not
Mhm.
where they're at in their life at that time. And usually tell them, well, why don't you do this first or that first, and then think about it again. Because what you don't want to do, guys, is you don't want to start a business behind, right? You don't want to. Hey, don't Mike Henderson. Hey, don't knock bankruptcy. Yeah, we know your story though. You did bankruptcy right, dude, for the right reasons and everything. Um, but yeah, pre- prepare yourself for being an owner operator if this is what you want to do. When I came to Swift, I came from a nice sales job at the phone company to getting laid off and looking at all the trucks going down the road getting paid while I was looking for a job, in that Portland, Oregon traffic. And I decided to go to truck school. And from the get go, I wanted to be an owner operator. I wanted to mentor. That's what I wanted to do. And I chose Swift on purpose, which a lot of people think is weird because they had the program that I wanted out of all the companies that I looked at. And I've been here ever since. But, I didn't just jump in a truck as soon as they offered me one. I ran numbers ahead of time and made sure I knew what I was doing before I leased a truck. I spent at least 6 months, you know, calculating out, okay, this is what I made this week as a company driver. Let's talk to Dana, my driver leader, and find out what the surcharge is this week and run numbers. What I have made as an owner operator. Can I pay my bills on that? That and I did that for 6 months before I took the leap. Um, the other thing that I caution people about is there does come a time when you either got to pull the trigger or just stop talking about it. I'm sure you've met these people as well. They talk and talk and talk and they just never pull the trigger. It's like, dude, you asked me the same question every week for the last year.
Yep.
You know, if you're looking for an excuse to not be an owner operator, I'll just tell you, don't be an owner operator. you know, that's your
Yep.
excuse. There you go. Um, and 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 that kind of drives me nuts just a little bit. Because you spend the time to educate these people and they just won't make a choice. You know, and
Yep. I had a driver of mine. I think I've spoken with you about that driver. He still will call me and ask me the same questions. I'm like, okay, so you wanting to do this or you're not? I'm like, I've given you contacts of who to speak with, everything. Have you given them a call? No, I
hmm
haven't yet. Okay, so I don't know what else to tell you then.
yeah, yeah. And when you talk to people like us, that's the reaction that you'll get, guys. And it's an honest reaction. We'll give you the information, but in the end, you've got to make the choice.
Yeah.
You know, and and a lot of times your choice is going to be, yeah, no, I'm not doing that. And you know what? That's
Mhm.
okay. Go be a company driver. They make good money too. I don't know if I told you my initial why I wanted to do this was I just like the game. I like figuring out, oh crap, I fell in the rears. How do I get out of that? Or, oh crap, there's a recession going on. How do I deal with that? Because as an employee, you don't really deal with those things like you do when you own the business.
Yeah.
You know, so and you're absolutely right, Tracy. A lot of that is the fear of
Yes.
failing. The
He
what ifs.
is.
Yeah, absolutely.
He gets jealous because the other puppy is out with brother.
Ah, puppy wants mommy. Bear Hunter says.
Yeah.
So, all right, guys, we're coming up on the end of the show here. Last call for questions. Um, any questions for La Heffa about running at other carriers? Now would be a good time. Um, and just so you guys know, we're going to try and get more people from other carriers to come in and talk to us. Um, we are planning next year's a conference, if you will. we're really considering just doing a virtual conference and doing it on Zoom or some other platform like that, so that you guys can actually attend without having to drive all the way out west or wherever and maybe get stuck. And maybe we'll have some maybe we'll have some people from those carriers on the Zoom that you guys could talk to, and we could talk about what different opportunities are out there. Tracy says, "Tell Charlie to take a pill for me and get better soon." People are getting vicariously high with you, Charlie. We'll put him up for the last couple seconds here. If he even recognizes that he's on the screen.
Oh, that's a mistake. I can't keep my eyes. So I don't normally get motion sick, but this bunny's got me motion sick. So if I keep my eyes closed, I can do it.
Oh man! If you just know, Charlie, that if you actually Ralph, it's going to be made into a short.
I made Rosie pull over already once. Just saying, it happened. I didn't puke. I can't physically puke because that other surgery I had years back with my stomach. So I just go through the motion. That's so much fun, heaving, and nothing comes out.
Oh,
That's
man.
probably not great.
That makes
for
me feel
everybody.
ill.
Hey,
Just
I just
listening.
want to say I tried to type it. Hey, I love everybody. Thank you guys for tuning in. Wanda,
He
you're
tried to
amazing.
type it.
Yeah, it didn't work. Thank you for coming in and helping out and filling in and giving some people some info. Throw me back out. You guys handle the rest of the show. I'm gonna watch
Well,
the end of this on the replay when I get
well,
home.
well, we're at the end of the show
Okay.
now, Charlie. So I was just going to ask you, is there anything else you wanted to say? There's
Oh,
Rosie.
you're welcome. Hi,
I can't find Rosie.
Rosie.
There she is.
She's like, "Don't. I'm
Wanda, say hi,
driving.
Rosie.
Get away."
I know, right? She's like, piss off, dumbass. She's such an amazing angel. All right, guys. I love you.
All
I
right.
love everybody. Damn it.
All right. So dry heaves are funny, according to Tracy. And with that,
Oof.
we're gonna say goodbye. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. We'll be having more stuff.
Bye,
We're working on shorts
everyone.
and things. And leave some comments. And everybody, Wanda, do you have anything else you want to say real quick?
No, thank you so much for having me, guys. Thank you.
All right. So with
More
that, we'll
coming
see you
soon.
next week. We'll see you next week where we will be talking about Jeff's tires next week when Charlie is able to have the discussion with me. And until then, you all be safe out there, and we'll see you next week.
6 p.m. Eastern Time Tuesdays. Every Tuesday, rain or shine.
Or high or not.
Rain or sun.
Exactly.